So I show up, and I've got clear instructions from the CEO and the vice president. And he says to me, Billy, that place is making 31,000 tires a day, and we're hemorrhaging money. We need 36,000. And the people don't even know, and profitable.
Yeah.
And you have to control your costs. And exactly what he said, I want free tires. He says you're at 30, 31, 32, I want 30, 36, and I don't want to spend another penny for them, so I want them free.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? If that happens, Billy, this will help North America. So I need to go, 36 is what they needed. I needed 38 so I could PM the equipment. I could idle some of the equipment and do some work on it. Mm-hmm. So let's go back to deliberate clarity. How did I get that message across to everyone in the plant? You know what? Ask the people. You know what? Once somebody suggested football jerseys. It was football country. Bought them custom jerseys with the number 38 on it. Put the Union logo on one sleeve, the company logo on another sleeve. Put the back of the jersey, instead of a name, the front of the name said Fayetteville. The back of the jersey said the choice. The choice of the customers, associates, and our community. Long story short, that was, I want to say, 2,500 jerseys. My boss says, why is he spending that money? It's a waste of money.
They're hemorrhaging and he's off buying football jerseys.
That's exactly what he said. Well, we walked in with a 6-month strategy to get them to 36. First month, we're up at 30, 33. Next month, 34. Next month, 35. Next month, 36. Next month, 37. And we're hitting it. But let's go back to the beginning. Everyone in that plant, including the janitor, could tell you what it was we needed to accomplish. Now, I held these daily meetings, breakfast and lunch, every day, 5 days a week, with everybody explaining to them the purpose, why we needed the 38, why it was important to our associates, our customers, and the business. And so they rallied around it. And, you see that jersey at Walmart, in church, in choir rehearsal. You see it at every football game. That jersey was all over Fayetteville. Now, even if you gave it away, if you were a grandpa and you gave it to your grandbaby, what's the first question that grandbaby's going to ask you?
What does it mean?
What does it mean?
Mm-hmm.
And if you can explain it, you're bought in.
Mm-hmm.
You're bought in unconsciously. But more importantly, once we gave them with that deliberate clarity, we said, help us with the how.
Mm-hmm.
Again, deliberate ownership.
Mm-hmm.
So with deliberate clarity to deliberate ownership, right? Because why? In the absence of ownership comes blame. And when leaders and companies build these strategies, but people don't know what they own in the strategy, then they blame you.
Mm-hmm.
I have no dog in the race. I don't have a dog in the race. We talked about yesterday. When 2 people owns the dog dies. Why? I thought you fed the dog. No, I thought you fed the dog. No, I thought you fed the dog. No, I thought you fed the dog.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the dog's dead. Why didn't you feed the dog? Well, we didn't have a process that tells you feed the dog on Mondays, I feed the dog on Tuesdays. However, but you are the main keeper of the dog. And so leaders fail at that when they build their strategies. There's no one owning the strategy.
Mm-hmm.
It's a document that go in their laptop or go in their desk drawer, and then it's a secret.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't manage a secret.
Yeah, and people like to throw around that term ownership or accountability a lot.
Mm-hmm.
First question for you, do you see those two words as the same thing?
Mm-hmm.
Ownership and accountability. Are those synonymous in your world, or is there a difference?
Yes, there's a difference from a standpoint. Accountability is a subset of that ownership piece of it. When I own it, the buck stops with me in my head.
Mm-hmm.
I own it. When I'm accountable, I own a piece of that.
Mm-hmm.
But just like we did an exercise this morning with We had people standing up at the board. We put up a visual management board. I brought up a group of strangers, and then I gave them a sticky note. Just put your name on it, and then I said, put this on the metric that I said you own. Immediately when that happened, their whole the one lady, woo, that was green, right? And I tell the audience, watch their body language around ownership. Now, if I'd have just says, hey, come on up, you're accountable for this.
Yeah, good point.
Right? You're accountable for this. They'd have just went along, right? And you have to be careful. I remember, and this is a true story, and that ownership piece, it's not only implied. When you have a management system, identify who owns what in that system, not who's accountable for, who owns it. When they own it, then they become accountable. But I remember someone asked me that around me, responsible. And this poor fella, bless his heart, I was doing orientation. And I was the one saying, hey, we want responsible people. We want to hire responsible people. And so fella was like, I don't think he's being sarcastic. A little simple. That's what I'd say he was. And he says, raised his hand. I said, yeah. He said, Mr. Taylor, I'm your guy. I said, what do you mean? He said, my last job, everything that went wrong, they said I was responsible for it. So I'm responsible.
That's why I'm not there anymore.
That's why I'm not there anymore. But you won't be here because I'm responsible. So you want to say, what do I own?
Yeah. No, that's good. Thanks for joining us for this episode of A Leader's Journey podcast. If you enjoyed it, give us a thumbs up and remember to subscribe to our channel.